awful, you know. But for that moment, I was there. I had to be there. I had to know. I mean, shit. Even on 9/11, I mean, I was running towards the carnage. Thank God, this cop. She's seen enough people die today. I mean, I'm not saying I would have ran to my death, but I certainly was running to the scene of the crime. I've always had that kind of instinct, you know. When stuff goes down, I just run towards it, you know. And I see everybody running. I just kind of like, I don't know, some kind of magnetic thing. I don't know. I don't even know what to make of it entirely. You know, I mean, I have to appreciate my individuality in a way that, you know, I've always been this way, you know. It's probably why when I was young I used to get into so many fights. That kind of like, just kind of, I don't know, no fear, stupidity, I don't know what it is. But, God, you know, it's still like inside of me, even though I have so much more sense. But then I find myself at the scene of another crime, at the scene of another accident. Like, you're not driving the car anymore. I mean, like, you have just failed. I mean, your whole situation has just become something you're not even controlling or manipulating. And I guess it's kind of like a metaphor for a lot of our lives in a way that happens to us. I mean, just to be a little revelatory, you know, I mean, like, if you can't even figure, I guess it's not even such a secret to anyone that actually, you know, has seen the rhymes that I've done and seen some of the talking that I've done, and shoot, just look at the anger is subjectively useless video and read behind the lines and look at the person talking beneath that, and not what's being said as someone that's trying to put their best foot forward and try and reframe a conversation and try and redirect things into a situation that makes a little bit more sense, but more in terms of thinking that what's happening is this is like almost like a dream or an aspiration or something looking higher, but what it's hiding and masking is the realness of the moment and the actuality that we're having. And it's almost like BSing yourself, because you get to this point where you're talking in a way like you're something that you're not even really able to live up to, thinking that you're going to somehow reach for this higher aspiration without not acknowledging what you are. I mean, well, I'll tell you right now, I mean, just to break it down very simply, you know, ever since I was young, I had an anger problem that has put an otherwise seemingly rational human being into situations where it turns you into like a monster. And I mean, a lot of these things, I mean, sometimes at moments they would be fueled by something like alcohol, but I can't even use that as an excuse, because so many times it has been triggered in other ways, and it's always been, you know, outside of the alcoholic side of it. It's always seemed to have been triggered to the core, you know, by the people closest to me. So anyway, I mean, that's pretty damn personal, but so it gets to the point of my understanding of anger and how I've dealt with it and how I've decided that I want to move forward with it. Straight, direct approach. I started to say confrontational, and I stopped myself, and of course I tend to do this. I tend to rewind, straight, direct, and go back. Approach. I started to say confrontational, and I stopped myself, and of course I tend to do this. I tend to rewind and go back.